What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Optimal EV. Today, I'm going to be giving you a quick glance on the luxury EVs that are currently available in the market and give you our opinions on them.
We came up with three cars that really fit that category, being the Mercedes EQS, BMW's new i7, and the Lucid Air. So in this video, we did exclude a few cars that you might be expecting to see.
Yeah, that would be the Audi e-tron, the Model S Plaid, or maybe the Taycan. The reason we excluded these is because we don't think it really falls in that luxury EV segment. It's more of a performance sedan, and they are a little lower priced on some of them. Like for the GT, it's in the $100,000 range,
Right.
And obviously you have the Plaid, which is 150 grand. So
Right.
they kind of fluctuate, and it's more performance cars. So we're sticking to just the luxury vehicles here.
Right. They're definitely not cheap cars, but like Troy said, we're focusing on luxury here, not so much performance.
All right, so here we are on BMW's website. Might look familiar if you saw our last video on the BMW i7. That will be somewhere up there. So if you didn't see that one yet, go take a look and come back, and we're going to compare these three vehicles.
So between all three of these cars, there's definitely certain factors that would make us think you would prefer one car over the other. So for example, if you were looking for just pure speed and acceleration out of these cars, you're definitely going to want to look for the Lucid, right? The Lucid, right off the bat, you get a 0 to 60 of 3 seconds, 500 plus miles of range. Like nothing else is coming close to that right now. But if you're looking for more customization, more comfort, you're definitely going to want to look at the other two options.
Yeah, and another big thing is going to be availability. So Lucid being a new company, you might not be able to get your hands on one of these Air Grand Tourings, and it's also the most expensive one of these three. So you're going to see $139,000, but those stats do look amazing. As Sam mentioned, you'll see that there's only a couple interior and exterior color options. You'll see there's three. This is the same one. And then for the Mercedes, you'll have a bunch of exterior colors. For the BMW, you'll also have a bunch of exterior colors that you don't see on the builder yet. But like we mentioned in our previous video, if you go to the German builder, you'll see some colors on there.
Like Troy hit on before, with availability, Lucid and the BMW i7 are going to have lower availability than the Mercedes EQS. Lucid has delivered a handful of launch edition cars, but as of right now, I don't think they've launched anything past their launch edition, so it'll be interesting to see if they actually deliver these cars. BMW obviously is a much more reputable car brand, as is Mercedes, so it's more promising, I think, if you reserve these cars that you will get a car in the future, whereas Lucid, we don't really know what to expect from them.
Yeah, especially if you pre-order a BMW as early as, now when they just started their pre-ordering process, you'll definitely get your hands on an allocation, and they're expected to be delivered later in the year or beginning of next year. With the Mercedes, though, that definitely wins this category because the vehicle's available. You can buy it, maybe find some at certain dealers.
Right.
So I would definitely go for the EQS if you're looking to get something sooner than later.
Moving on to luxury. So this is kind of the main overall category of why we picked these cars. There's kind of two differences that I think Troy and I see in these cars being between the Mercedes and the BMW.
Yeah, the Lucid doesn't come close.
No. These two cars are pure luxury, and it kind of seems like the i7 is focusing more so on the rear end interior, where, they're expecting you to have a driver for this car, and there's a ton of technology available to you as the rider in the backseat, whereas the EQS is kind of just an overall tech extravaganza, if you might say, with the whole screen in the front. Everything is coordinated to the front of the car more so than the back, like in the BMW.
Yeah, and we're comparing it with the EQS 580, where you do get that big screen. If you don't get the big screen, I don't think it really compares to the i7. So for anyone who's looking at the other edition and not the 580, I wouldn't even compare that to the i7, because the technology in the i7 is still going to be great in the front, but the rear entertainment with that new 8K screen is something that really separates it from the other two, luxury EVs. And here's a quick glance at that screen. So, someone who's lounging in the back gets a chance to, watch movies or, see some sort of entertainment on here. Where in the Mercedes, something that does separate them from BMW is that multicolor ambient lighting, where you can choose basically any color. We haven't got the BMW in person yet, but from BMW's recent cars, they've only given you certain color options. So that might be something that, entices you to go to the Mercedes. People love their lights,
It's true.
When it comes to price on these three vehicles, you will see that the BMW starts at $119,000 right down here. So you'll see the tax credit as well as the price, $119,300. And obviously BMW is known to be adding options to the vehicle, so you'll probably be somewhere, 10 grand higher than that, 15 grand higher than that with other options like M Sport or something.
Right.
And then for the EQS, you'll see it's at $125,000 as well, with colors and other things also increasing the price.
Yep. Similarly, you can add those packages, and both of these car prices are going to go up way more than just, regular MSRP.
And then the Lucid, that is at $139,000. Now, again, more expensive, but those stats do stand out as, performance and range. So definitely something that's important.
Right.
Now, one thing that might be really important to you is convenience.
Right.
And, with Mercedes and BMW, you're really going to have that convenience factor of a brand that has been backing these vehicles forever. When it comes to Lucid, it's in the unknown. You don't know if, service departments are going to be open, if loaner vehicles are going to be available. So it's just something to think about. Peace of mind is always huge. So Mercedes and BMW obviously take the cake on that one.
Right. It's kind of a reputation thing that we're comparing here. And obviously, if you have owned a Mercedes or BMW before, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, and another thing is they will all get the tax credit for now. So if you are looking for that $7,500 and that's something that does change your mind, I don't know how it would when buying something that's $130,000, but
right.
Hey, money's money. So in that case, all of them will have it. Also, though, BMW will be the first one to lose this credit as the trajectory goes right now because they've had electric vehicles longer with the BMW i3. So Mercedes and Lucid obviously are not close to that yet. So just keep that in mind for when 2023 rolls around. All right, so we're going to give you just a quick rundown on all three vehicles. We're not saying one's better than the other. We're just kind of giving you all of the categories of what is best for you when purchasing an electric luxury vehicle.
So in my opinion, I think if you want a car as soon as possible, you should go with the Mercedes. It's readily available and it has a ton of luxury already included in it. If you are willing to wait a little bit longer and you don't mind pre-ordering your car in hopes of getting a car sometime next year or even the following, definitely go with BMW. I think the performance along with the luxury and for the price is honestly a really good offer for what they have, if that's something in your price range. And then lastly, if you really want that high performance that pretty much nothing else can compete with, but you're also willing to take a risk, go with Lucid. I think eventually they should deliver their cars. I mean, I'd be shocked if they didn't. There'd be probably a lot of lawsuits if they don't. So they probably will deliver. We just don't really know when.
It's a big gamble.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's probably your best bet if you're one of those types of buyers.
Yeah, and when it comes to the luxury side, Mercedes has that all-around luxury feel, a nice soft drive. If you're looking more for rear seat entertainment, the i7 is 100% your way to go. And if you're looking, again, the performance side, the Lucid isn't really comparable or on that level of luxury when it comes to the i7 or the Mercedes.
But that being said, if you are like us and can't afford any of these cars, but you happen to still be watching this video, definitely check out our other videos. We have tons of other cars that we've reviewed that are way more affordable.
Yeah, and speaking of price, if you're looking for the most expensive one, the Lucid's going to be up there. Again, focused on performance. The middle one will be the Mercedes, and then the i7 will be the cheapest, but also the slowest. So, I mean, you're still getting plenty of speed in all three with, all EVs. If you're spending over $100,000, it's going to be fast, but, price is definitely important when you get up into that range.
Yeah. Let us know what you guys think. Please drop some comments down below. We'd love to know what you guys think about these luxury cars, if they're too much money or if you think they're priced appropriately, if you're excited, if you're actually going to buy one, let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content, and we will see you in the future.